Welcome back to another episode of Teen Talk. Glad to see you again, because I can see you totally. I can totally see you right now. I'm White Gentry, and today we're going to be talking about the evolutionary error in the evolutionary sequence or process, whatever you want to call it, blah 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 blah, and the aftermath of the evolutionary sequence errors as well. Let's get right into it. First point I want to make. What are the fossils of the in-between? The in-betweens? What do you mean the in-betweens? Like the sausage patty in between the two bread buns? No, not talking about that. Get your head out the clouds, not eating right now. If you're eating, well, congratulations, I'm hungry. What are the fossils in between? Like, what are the fossils of the monkeys evolving into humans? I think they're called like Homo, and then they're called a different scientific name after that. So it's like the Homo monkeys. That's what I'm gonna call them. Where are their fossils? I've seen replicas of what they think they look like. I've seen just their own imagination, basically. Imagination station fossils, replica fossils of their mind. But that's not fossils. That is a clay structure made from their imagination. What are the actual things? Where are the bones of these so-called Homo monkeys? Guess what? No one found this. No, not a single. Point number 2. Why are monkeys still here? That's a tough one. Let's take, for example, dinosaurs. Evolutionists say that they were fish, okay? And then the fish crawled, flopped, or whatever up on the land and evolved over millions of years. So, yes, that fish stayed on land for millions of years, apparently. And evolved into a reptile, dinosaur, grew bigger, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And they think it's a special fish, apparently, that they still haven't found the fossils of. And the only reason they say it was a special fish, or what I've heard at least, is because they don't want us creationists asking the question, okay, so why aren't these fish evolving? And that leads me to another point. Why aren't monkeys still evolving? I mean, why they stop? Why did they stop? I mean, you go to the zoo and you see a half man, half monkey sitting down in that cage? No, of course not. Because monkeys don't evolve. So how did monkeys evolve in the past? Answer me that. Like, for realsies. I don't think any evolutionist has ever answered that question. So I have some more interesting points to cover after this little Christian intersection I've had. So if you're a non-believer, Christian, not Christian, don't get off yet. There's still gonna be more after this. So I love all of you because that's what Jesus says to do. But I don't understand how a Christian could believe in evolution. And I love you guys, and I pray for you every day, or try to every day. But Mark 10:6 says it better than anything. But God created the male and female from the beginning of creation. Genesis 5:2 and Genesis 1:27 say something similar. He created them male and female. Genesis 1:27 says human beings. So they basically he created human beings, male and female, from the beginning of creation. The beginning of creation. There's no time to evolve before the beginning of creation. Wanna know why? Because you can't get points for running before the race began. See what I mean? It's like you can't evolve something before the beginning of creation. Wanna know why? Because it's not created yet. So, how did they evolve? Supposedly. How? Answer me that. How could something evolve before everything was created? I lost my train of thought. God. Even if you believe in gap theory. Now, there's plenty of different gap theories, but the most famous one is probably 1 1 and 1 2. For you non believers, the beginning of the Bible, it's like God created the heavens and the earth, and then he creates everything else. That's 1 1 and 1 2 chapters, not chapters, verses. People believe that there's millions of years. That's them trying to fit secular evolutionists' ideas with Christian ideas, but they don't mingle. They like try, but it's like oil and water, okay? But you can't explain evolution with 1 1 and 1 2 gap theory. Wanna know why? Because Adam and Eve and humans were created on the same day that monkeys were. This was a 24-hour legit day. That's not millions of years to evolve, guys. You need to do some reading up on the Bible of Genesis. That's 24-hour days. Those aren't long days. I explained a little bit of that in the last video. Check that out if you haven't yet. It's a very good video. And I'll do something like that in the future. Maybe I'll do a whole video on gap theories, all the different gap theories. That'd be cool. All right, coming out of our Christian intersection here is point number 3, grandmothers. Hang on a second. That feels good. Grandmothers, and you're probably like, grandmothers. Okay. Explanation. Grandmothers are a huge problem for evolutionists. You want to know why? Because animals, once they're past their childbearing age, die. We'll just put it that way. They can't have babies, they die. Basically, females. Because I'm not getting into that, but once they can't produce babies, they die. So then why are human grandmothers that can't produce babies still alive? Evolutionists try to sweep that under the carpet of millions of years. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a little carpet they have, and if they can't explain something, they go, "Oh, millions of years." Well, then how about this? Oh, millions of years. Well, how did that happen in millions of years? Show me the genetics. Show me the mutations. Show me the psychological, mental, or whatever evidence you have. You don't have any? What? Really? Surprising, right? So they can explain grandmothers. I know, out of all things, you're like, huh? Grandmothers, yeah. Pretty interesting, right? Point number 4. We have. Okay. Why do you think. Sorry. Why do you think evolutionists had thought that dinosaurs evolved from fish? Because they're similar. Fish had scales, have scales, and they're kind of reptile-like. Dinosaurs are reptiles. So that's kind of where they got that from. It's basic obviousness, right? I'm gonna be Captain Obvious here. So then why do they think that we evolved from monkeys? Because we have similarities. Surprise, right? Ever gone to the zoo and seen a monkey that didn't look something along the lines of you? I have, but point here is monkeys look like us. That's the reason. If we had scales and our tongue went, they probably think we evolved from a snake. You wanna know why? Because we look similar. But does that mean that a. Alright, here, let me tell you the story. I had this book. It wasn't a book, it was like a safe kind of thing. And the safe. It was like you open the book cover and then you could unlock it with the key, and I had all my money stashed in there, but I had it up on a bookshelf. My friend took it down because we needed, I think it was like a dictionary, printout on my safe, and we needed a dictionary, like a word up. Yes, we used a dictionary, not a phone. It's good for you to use a dictionary. But we opened it up. He was trying to open it, and he was like, I can't get this open. So he was looking for like a little latch. You know how some of those have a latch on to open the book? Like a diary or something that has a little clippy. And he couldn't find one. He was dumbfounded by it. He was like, what? I'm so confused, dude. Why are your books so confusing? And I was like, yeah, you might want to put that dictionary back and go with the other one. He was like, okay. But the point of the matter is, he thought it was what he needed because it looked similar. Uh-huh. So, if monkeys look similar to us, sure. I mean, yeah. If you're wanting to say something, we evolved from something, say monkeys. Or else you just look completely silly, okay? Well, we have big differences. Our minds are more complicated than the monkey banana. Okay? I mean, I'm not saying monkeys are stupid. They're definitely very smart. But not as smart as humans. And I mean, our fingers, we can do different things that monkeys could. Our toes, we can do, well, monkeys can do more with their toes. See? Difference. We're more complex. We can build muscle more than a monkey can. We can write an essay, a monkey can't. We're more advanced in some ways, and they're more advanced in some ways. Like a gorilla, that's stronger than us, but we're smarter than them. Or our eyes are different. I was at the eye doctor the other day, and I was looking at this picture of the inside of your eyes, and I was like, I wonder how much more complex that is than other animals. And it wasn't, I mean, I didn't do much research, but it was definitely different. I'll tell you that much. I was like, it's because God created us different from the other animals. He created us with supreme, we're his masterpiece. We're his, what's that one picture Van Gogh made? You know what I'm talking about. God made us different. He made us special. All right. Number 5, the devil, Satan, has indoctrinated this world with the thought of evolution. Want to know what evolution is? It's the evolutionary theory. Want to know what a theory is? It's an educated guess. Want to know what an educated guess is? It's a guess. Want to know what a guess is? It's someone making a hypothesis. I know I just went from big word to small word to big word, but it's like a idea. That's what it is. But creation isn't really a theory. It is, of course, it could be wrong, but we have physical evidence, and that's called the Bible. And you might be like, well, what if the Bible isn't right? The Bible is so historically accurate, it's not even funny. I mean, like when the Assyrians came to Israel and Judah, and like when Babylon and Assyria took over Israel and Judah, those were at different times, I'm pretty sure. But besides the point, you look at your other secular, I guess, history books, and they don't say the same thing. The Bible is so accurate of when Jesus walked the earth, of all sorts of other things. And people are trying to prove the Bible wrong. Well, guess what? They can't prove the Bible wrong. And you're like, oh, well, what about all the miracles that Jesus did? That was by the power of God. And if you want me to get into that, we don't have time in this video, but maybe I'll do that in the future. Channel's just getting started. So much opportunity, so much fire. So I'm excited to do more videos. But back to the main point. If we've been raised in schools to believe everything that the scientists say, if the scientists say that the Bible's wrong by not really saying it, but by doing these other things that don't fit into the Bible, then the Bible must be wrong, right? Wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. Okay? That's the devil working through them. Okay? That's why I'm gonna call this my ministry. You might be like, oh, well, a minister proclaims the good news of Jesus. Guess what I did? I proclaimed the good news of Jesus. And there's different kinds of ministries. I am in the ministry of doubt. I don't know what the ministry of doubt is. The ministry of doubt. This is what I call it. This is an official term. If you can't believe the Bible because of these people, then how are you going to believe that God's real? We need people out there to be researching this so that other people can believe the Bible is true. Because if the Bible isn't true, then how could God be real? You know? So that's my passion, and that's my goal and purpose in life, to fulfill that need that people have of, well, I can't prove the Bible right. Well, guess what? I'm gonna get a shout out here. This is where I do a lot of my um research to Answers in Genesis, their channel, their website. Go check them out. They're not sponsoring or nothing, but they're a really cool organization that do kind of the same thing I do. That's where they inspire me to do this. They're Christian. They believe the same thing I do, except they're a lot smarter than I am. It's a lot of people. They're meteorologists, and ologists, and ologists. You know what I mean? So yeah, go check them out. But to end this video, I want to ask you a question. Did you come from apes? Well, yeah. Did you come from apes, or did you come from Adam? I'm letting that sink in for a second. I asked myself that thousands of times. I've said that thousands of times. But every time I say it, I need to give it a second to sink in. I believe we came from Adam, not apes. And I believe that this whole conversation was meant to happen. I don't think we're accidents of a Big Bang or some other catastrophe that happened. I think we're made by a supreme creator, and his name's God, and I believe that he loves us. And that's why I do this. Because we love because God loves us. That's the Bible verse. Okay? And this is me showing my love to you guys to try to strengthen you in Christ, to become more bolder and stick out there. Look, I'm only 13. A lot of kids I've met that are Christian don't act like it. And that's my goal, to act like an actual Christian. I was on the walkie-talkies with these kids the other day. I just randomly scrolled through, waiting for someone to pick up, and someone did. I was like, oh yeah, let's tell them about Jesus, right? That's actually what I was doing. And they were cussing like pirates, talking about all sorts of bad stuff. And I was like, are you guys Christian? And they were like, excuse me? And I was like, are you guys Christian? And they were like, yeah. I was like, do your actions show it? And they were like, yeah. But just a minute before, they'd been cussing at each other, talking about all sorts of bad stuff that I'm not going to talk about. And I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, can I pray with you guys? So I prayed with them, and I talked to them. They were like, oh, that's bad? I'm like, it's not good. But, yeah, just something I wanted to tell you. And I hope you guys are doing good. praying for you guys to strengthen in Christ, and for anyone who doesn't believe, praying for you to meet Jesus. If you like the video, leave a comment saying, yeah, I love this thing, you should keep doing these. If you don't like the video, say, hey, I hate your videos and I hate you, so I can pray for you that you meet Jesus and that you become a stronger Christian if you're a Christian hating on me, but that doesn't make sense. Besides the point, like, comment, subscribe, share, like anything I didn't name, because that means more people can see the video, more people can hear about Jesus, more people can hear this interesting stuff. But for now, White Gentry out. Teen Talk. See you next time.